So, all our equipment has broken down, so the red light doesn't work today. Still, very, very warm welcome to everybody on the course on microservices in winter term 2021-22. It's January. Happy New Year to everybody. And it's lecture number 9, lecture number 9. And so we are somewhere in the middle of building some microservices. And actually, I have a picture for that. I could actually go for this size and go for do the show here. So we are actually building a warehouse and a shop. And the warehouse, there are some workers which actually do pack your orders and then send them out. And at the shop, you can actually do the shopping. And the scenario we were actually going through was this one, which is pretty small, so I can enlarge this, but then we only see a small fraction that Peter Picker starts at the warehouse, chooses to add new pallets that has been delivered, and then he says, oh, there's a pallet with barcode 001, where I choose 10 boxes on place on shelf 42. And this is the light blue stuff is happening at the browser, at the client user interface of Peter Picker. And then he sends a message to the warehouse, which is a command here. And the warehouse adds some data, raises an event. This event is recognized by the shop, and the shop adds some more data. And we do this 3 times to have some products in our system. This is pretty much what we have achieved before Christmas. So we have built the front end for the warehouse, and we did that with Angular. We have built the back end for the warehouse, and we did that with Nest, and we were using Mongo as a database. And then we were building the back end for the shop. And we were ready to connect those two. So the 2 backends, the warehouse backend and the shop backend, they are connected and they talk to each other. We will actually revisit this stuff in the next week. However, today we will just go on with our scenario just to warm up again. I have had quite tough time to prepare this lecture, to dig out all the things that I have already done before Christmas. It's after Christmas everything was forgotten, and so we just do a small refresh on graphical user interface construction today. We'll do a connection between the shop front end and the shop back end next week, and then we are actually almost done. Most of the scenario will be done then, and so the rest of the term we will actually do the deployment. So once everything is finally constructed and works well in our lab environment here on your own laptop, we actually would like to make it productive, or to switch it productive, or deploy it after all on some cloud server. And I think we will do this with Heroku again this year, because that one is free of charge. And we will learn a little bit about Docker, I think. Yeah, we should do it with Docker. It's easier. And so there is a lot of stuff coming after that. And actually, once you have deployed it, there's even more stuff coming after that, which is you need actually to operate this thing. So this program or services are not going to work work alone forever. Actually, it will break down pretty soon, and there will be errors during operation. You need to monitor it during operation and more stuff. Most of this is actually part of my lectures, or well, actually Sebastian's lecture on how do we DevOps technologies, yeah, development and operating technologies, which is a master course given in the summer. So today we will actually go for Sabine Sales, and Sabine Sales now has some products delivered to the warehouse, and the store and has the shop backend has been noticed. We have two new products in our warehouse. Please start selling it. And so what Sabine Sales actually needs to do now is to add a price to these products and to put them in the store so that people can actually buy this stuff. And so Sabine Sales will offer, will start her backend. Sorry, she will start her front end. So she will open her browser at some Microsoft URL, find an overview of offers, and there's no offers yet. And then it makes a new offer and so on. So actually, this is a little bit outdated. I'm going to make this anew again. By the way, guys, you actually can access this website or these event storming nodes through the shop with GUI board is where my lecture is. Is it? No, it's here, and there should be a shop with GUI board directory in your Google Drive that is accompanied with the lecture, and there you can actually go for and then open shop with GUI board HTML, and that will actually give you this page here. So if you would like to look at it, that would be a possibility. So let's go for it. This is our. Can you actually see that? Yeah. Please? It's good enough. This is our mono repository, the GitHub repository, or the directory at my laptop actually. And we have the micro shop, and we have the micro warehouse directory or folder. And there's this micro tests where our end-to-end tests live, the type of stuff, which I did not actually do for today. I should have, but I didn't do it. And so we go for the micro shop, and there is the back end, and we would like to have a front end. And actually, you do not yet have it. So you actually need to start this thing. And therefore, you go for your terminal. And actually, sorry, I need to have it a little bit smaller. Otherwise, I can't see anything. And make this more here, okay. And so we do go for the micro shop here, and here we do something like ng new. Ng is the shorthand for the command line interface command for Angular, and new creates a new project, and then we say micro shop front and do it. So I did this yesterday already, but this is just to get an idea. And then it downloads a lot of stuff. You actually will be asked for, do you want routing? Yes. Which kind of CSS do you want? SCSS, and then you are done. Okay. And actually, you can, a lot of parts of the Microshop may be copied from the warehouse backend. So you might want to go for the, from the warehouse front end. And you might have a look at some parts of the warehouse front end and to do some of these things. I did something like Angular JSON. I tried it, that didn't help. I went to the package JSON of my. We are in the warehouse. Oh my God, this is going to be so weird. I put that one here, I put that one down, I put that one a little bit here, and I'm totally lost. So this is package JSON. To the right is the warehouse, to the left is the shop. So no, it's not yet the shop. Microshop. front end package JSON. So now it's this one. And basically what you need to do is go for the start script, and there stands originally only ngserve add a -- open for convenience. That will, when you start it, it will open in the browser automatically. And actually, per default, the front end Angular front end will run on port 4200. But because the warehouse already uses the port 4200, I said that the shop shall use the port 4400, just a different shop, in order to allow us to run both of these at the same time. And actually, yeah, I was looking for where to put this, and they said, yeah, put it on the command line. So I do it here. I would love to have it in somewhere in the code, but I didn't find the place. So Sebastian is not happy with this. This is the right place. That is the right thing to do. Okay. So I finally did the right thing. Cool. Here we are. And next we need to go for source, and we go for styles SCCS. And add these two lines here, Bootstrap, SCCS, and Bootstrap icons, in order to have something that allows us to add color to our website and icons to our website. And actually, I think you need to install Bootstrap. I'm not sure about it. Yeah, Sebastian thinks so. So you need to go for the Microsoft front end, and then do something like npm. Install Bootstrap, something like that. I could actually run it. Shouldn't do harm. Yeah, it should work. And then won't find anything because it's already there. I did this in preparation to this lecture, actually yesterday. Okay, and then you need to install Bootstrap icons, and I have no idea how that is called.
Just Bootstrap. You see on the right side in your package JSON, line 22, there is the dependency you want.
Yeah. Okay, minus icons. Okay. Bootstrap minus icons. And then we are ready to go. It did cost me some time to figure this out. So actually, not too hard, but there are things that are harder than this. Okay, then we go for source, yeah, app module. And the app module contains a lot of very few things when you actually start it, and some things that you need all the time. I'm not sure about it. So I just add all the things that I found in the app module of the warehouse app module, and even some more. Actually, it said you need the browser module, the forms module, the routing module, the client module. And these are standard things, and I actually have them here. Yeah, and actually I added today the Reactive Forms module. So today we will build our user interface with Reactive Forms. Originally, the warehouse front end, we just did it with the plain forms. And Reactive Forms have the advantage that it is easier to come up with validation of user input. And this is what we are going to talk about today. And this is an important topic, as when you present a form where user shall add, I would like to buy this product and this amount of boxes, and please, here's my delivery address. Then you actually need to validate or to help the user in order to fill this form correctly. And you need to give him, the user, feedback on where's a field of the form that still needs some data which is required or not, and that he cannot yet or she cannot yet send in the order because something is missing. So we omitted this for the warehouse, and just because we wanted to have a quick start into GUI construction. However, for a professional web application, this is a very important feature that provides a lot of convenience and helps the users to actually work with your application, give them guidance, and avoid frustration and these kinds of stuff. And you can put arbitrary amount of work into this without even achieving a very good thing. This is a major issue, which is actually not really covered in this lecture. I just give a small start today, but this is really an important part of it for professional websites. So, but I'll try to give you a head start of this, and this is the Reactive Forms module. HTTP client for communication with the backend, and then there is a bunch of modules that belong to our application. So the home module, offer task module, and edit offer module are the module that we are going to implement today. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is look into app routing. App routing module actually tells you how to switch between different pages of your single page web application. To go for different forms, different dialogues, different overviews, different list views, and these kinds of things. And actually, this is done by deciphering or decoding the URL, the Unified Resource Locator that is passed in the browser. That consists of two parts. The first part is where is my service, on which computer actually, which internet address. And then there comes slash and then some more things. And if it ends on /home, we want to go for the home component. If it ends on offer tasks, edit offer, we would like to go for the edit offer component. And on offer tasks, we go for the offer task component. Actually, we are going to change this very soon because we would like to use the same user interface also for our customers, but currently I just do it for the Sabine sales. And actually we will have something like an admin page where Sabine is going to work and the customer will get free access, but Sabine will need to do a login. And actually I have no idea how you do login or password things or authentication with Nest.js. I'll have to ask Sebastian on that. And I'm not sure, we didn't cover that one last year. Whether we want to do it this year, I'm not sure. But let's see. Depends on how we have time. This is the routing model that you need. And then there is the app component HTML. This is this one. Yeah, where we put the top level things of our web page, which is finally just a container with a row and a column, and there's a home button. And actually I did copy this from the warehouse frontend and just changed this wording here that it says micro warehouse in the old time. I changed that to micro shop, and that's it. And so this is the header that will be on every web page of our shop front end. And then you say router outlet, put the components that actually deliver the content, please put them here. Okay, and this is where the router actually puts the components that you are switching to. Is this everything about that one? I think so. Yeah, the Java thing. Sorry, the TypeScript thing doesn't do a lot of things. Microsoft front end, this has been generated already, nothing to be changed on that one. Actually, let's start this thing. So I do an npm run, no start is enough. And it does an ng serve -port 4400 -open. compiles everything. Says it's great, opens the user interface. Here we are. So this is the home button, which actually goes to the home component, which is the one we are currently showing here. And then there is Microshop, is the title on that. There should be some place here. I have no idea. That's not nice. How to do that? And we have two things. One button that goes for shopping, which is not yet implemented, and one that goes for offer tasks. And that one already works, and I will show how it works. And this is what you need to do this week. I want this offers overview. This is actually stemming from here, offers overview, and want an add button and no offers yet. And actually, I have changed the add button to an edit button. And we offer blue jeans and we offer green cap is the products that we currently have. And this is the price that we currently have. And this is just the overview of everything, and everything where the price is still 0, that is, no, it's not actually offered. It's not yet there. And this here is just debug output. And yeah, I could have it new. No. So what I have implemented is the edit button here. I have implemented the edit button here, and the edit button then opens a dialog with a product name and a price. And the cool thing is, if I start to type here, he says, oh, name should be in jeans or t-shirt. If you go back to offer tasks, we have jeans and cap. Okay, it should have say, oh, we have only jeans and cap. Only those two of these things here can be selected. And so I should be able to either add a jeans here or a cap. And so there is an arrow method that should be red, and this one should be red. I leave this as a homework for you guys because I need to ask Sebastian and Max how to do this. And then you add some price. So it's of course $42. And then you can actually submit it. No, it's not yet enabled. So this button is disabled because the form fill is still invalid. As soon as I change this to jeans, I actually am able to submit this. And because the state here is valid and your input is jeans. So I did not yet connect this front end to the back end. We'll do that next week. So let's go back here. So this one is the home component, the first thing we need to implement. And that's an easy one. I go for the components. That should be modules after all. I go for home. There's a home module. And actually you do that by going here. This is monorepo. Oh, I hate it. Go for the Microshop. Go for the Microshop front end. And let's put this a little bit here. Okay. And then do something like, no. I'll do something like Angular generate module component slash home. I think that was the command I was using. And once you have done that one, I don't do it again, then you say, oh, generate component. And then Angular is generating a lot of stuff for you. And you can actually start, you get this directory here with the home module. And the home module, actually, I think you need to add that routing module to the imports of that module, but I'm not sure about it. I had quite some difficulties with mapping imports, and I was adding stuff until it worked. And I have no idea which one is really important. I think that one is quite reasonable. Then you have the HTML code, which is, let me show you again. The one that actually has this one here. I could do this here and put this one as small as I can and put that one here somewhere. Yeah, almost. So what you want is an offer task button and a shopping button. And so this is the add offers button, which is not that cool. It's actually the offer tasks button. And that one has a router link, which actually tells the router to switch to the other component. And that one is just offer tasks, and you need to recall. That is this one here. So it goes for the offer task component. And it is a button. It has a primary color, and the button is labeled offer tasks. Hey. And actually, it's just a link, and therefore I use this A tag here. Okay. And there is another row with another button, and that button does not yet have an ID because it's not implemented, and it doesn't have a router link or shopping. Okay, actually that one seems to require a slash, but I'm not sure. It's not implemented anyhow, so we don't care. Okay, so that's actually generating this part of my user interface. Great. Everybody happy with this? So you can do that. So it's your homework until Thursday. I hope you will be able to do it. Home component. So, and then we go for the offer task component. That is this one here. Again, you do this ng generate component / offer minus tasks, and then ng generate component, and then you get the offer task module. And there I import the forms module. I'm not sure about it. It should be reactive forms probably. No, it doesn't have a form. I was adding random things here until it was working. And the app routing is always a good idea. And then there is the HTML code for this. And let's have the page, go for the offer tasks. And then there is offers overview, an edit button, and then a list of things. Okay. There is a row. There is a column. Just copy paste this. Actually was copy pasting this from the warehouse front end, from some task overview. And then I adapt it. If you do this with copy paste, you get a lot of stuff. And then it takes quite a lot of fixing in order to get that running. And that's a little bit frustrating. So better you could copy it, block by block, not the whole thing in a single step. Then you get a little bit better feedback, and I think it's easier to do it. But yeah, come on. You can do it how you want. So then there's this button, which is an add button, and it has a router link actually, offer task / edit offer. That one will bring us to the edit component. So this one is all fine. And then there is this magical, this magical ng4 that didn't work for me quite a long time until I was adding some import to the app module after all. The app module needed to contain the offer task module in its imports, otherwise this was not working for some reason. Okay. So where am I? It's app routing module, no. Come on. Offer task menu, yeah, and I didn't have it. Offer tasks module, that one is cool, yeah. And then the offer tasks component, here we are. ng4 let my offer of offers. Let's have a look at this one here first. In order to make that running, you actually need a variable or an attribute, offers, or a field in your class. That should be an array of offers. And therefore we go for the offer task component. The offer task component already has this HTTP client because we will use it next week. So you do not need it this week, but it doesn't harm you. And then there is this offers. I don't think you need the public actually, but it's necessary to have a public. So yeah, I was adding this randomly. So you don't need it for the store task string. I have no idea why. Okay. Offers. And I had to declare it, or last time I did it, so I did it this time again as an array of anything. And initialize it with the empty list. So that allows me to do actually a loop on that one. And in addition, I wanted to have some data to represent, and therefore I added some data to this offers array by this.offers push, and then there is an object, name blue jeans, state in stock, amount is 6, and price is 0. And let's get rid of the blue because I do not want to put it in all the time. And then there is this cap here, and let's get rid of that one too, and put a t-shirt in here in order to make the other thing running. From the communication between the two backends, I still know that actually an offer always has a state, which is originally in stock, and we probably should change this state as soon as this thing is offered. It has usually an amount, how many of these things do we still have, and we might show that, and a price, of course. And the price is initially 0 in order to get that one done. Okay? And we have 7 t-shirts in our thing. So now our array has a little bit of content, and so we can go for the offer task component. And this one will actually loop through the 2 things that are 2 offers in our offers array. And for each of these 2 things, it will add a copy of this body of the ng-for loop, which is, no, actually it will create a copy of the whole thing. So we will have a new row with a column, and then one says, we offer. And then I say, oh yeah, my offer.name, which is my offer, the variable where the current offer is contained. Name is the name. And another column, my offer price, the price of the current offer. And we should have some more like state. Shall we add state? Come on. Let's have a state. My offer state, and it's probably, so this one says how large the column is, how wide the column is, and let's have a 2 thing. Okay, is it still working? Offer task edit, yeah, read that a little bit. So we offer jeans in stock, price is 0. Cool, that works. And you see this one is a little bit reactive. If you do it smaller, then actually it will do a wrapping of the lines here in order to have to let them still fit into the columns. And it does not make actually a good use of the column, of the width of the screen. We could actually put larger numbers here. However, if you do that, if you put that very large, then this line would be very ugly, and therefore I don't do it. Okay, yeah, but still we should. Okay, let's have a 4 here and something like a 3 here, and do it again, and then a reload. Yeah, come on, now it's 1 line. I love it. Okay, And this is just debug output, which I create from the store task string, and that one is set in the component. Once I've initialized that one, I say the task string is number of offers is this.offers.length in order, because it didn't work at the beginning. The ng4 wasn't working for a long time. Okay, later on, and this is copy-paste code from the warehouse front end, we will actually do a query to, well, 3100 or something like that. I have no idea, to the warehouse, to the shop backend, and then ask not for pallets, but for products. Or something like that, which still needs to be implemented. This is going to be done next week. Okay, here we are. That one works. So then there is this edit offer component. Let's close this one, go for the edit offer component. Again, you do this ng generate module component slash edit minus offer, ng generate component component slash edit minus offer in order to set this up. And then you go for the modules, and especially add reactive forms module, and we still will need the app router for sure. And actually, I'm not sure whether I need to repeat this here or it's already done in the main in the app module. I'm not sure. Doesn't harm you. Put it here. Okay. And then there is this edit component here, which is a little bit more complicated. Let's have a look at it if I go here. So just to be honest, officially, usually you would have a button somewhere here, or this whole thing is a link where you could click on it in order to edit this special offer. That would be the usual way to do. We might actually add this next week. I'm not sure about this. However, you may also, yeah, that's actually the thing that you should do. However, because I did a lot of copy-paste of the old thing, I have just a small form, and that's it. And actually, I'm not really sure how I would elegantly pass the product that I'm going to edit as a parameter to this router link thing. And actually have to ask Sebastian on that. So therefore, I just have a thing where I can add some name here. And then actually he says, no. It's jeans or t-shirt, because that's in the list you have. So what I could do instead of clicking on a certain product, I could actually have here a field where I can edit the name of a certain product. Actually, what you would like to have is a selection box where you can actually choose from, or something like auto-completion when you fill that text field. I didn't want to introduce this because I did look up the documentation, and it was not that easy. Yeah, it's a little bit clunky, and perhaps we do that next week. Let's start with this one here. So it was a nice possibility to dig into this reactive forms thing, where I wanted to validate that the input here is what I really needed. So that is either t-shirt, hey, that would be valid, or jeans would be valid. And you see, while I'm typing here, this valid thing here changes and the submit changes. So if I add a more thing, then it's invalid again, and the submit button is no longer working. And if I put something here which is valid, then it actually works. And it shows a message which should be read here in order to tell me how to actually fill this input field correctly. So still, let's have a look how this thing is constructed. I have put a form group up here, which is something which comes from forms generally. That's not purely reactive forms, but actually it's really helping. So I put a form here and say in square brackets, this is Angular notation for do some binding here, and go for form group. So form group is actually something that you need to implement in your component. And here it is. Here's my form group. It's not public for some reason. And it says, oh yeah, please create a form group. And in the constructor of this form group, you pass a JSON object with two names, product name and product price. These are the two fields that are contained in our form. And each of that contains a form control. And form control is actually an object that gives you actually the input field, or well, no, that actually manages the data binding between the input field and your logic. Yeah, that's it. And the constructor for form control is something here which I'm not really understanding. Then you can actually tell him where to put the data. If you have an object-oriented data model, we don't have it, so we leave that as an empty string. And then you can provide a list of validators. These are the things, this is the code that actually validates that the user input is correct. And there are some standard validators that you can actually import from Angular forms. There comes the form control, the form group, the validation errors, and the validators from. And one standard validator is validators.required, which actually says, oh, well, this form field needs to be filled. I do not accept a form submit if this is not filled. And the product name validator is one validator that I was implementing, and we will discuss this soon. And that one is awfully complicated. So it's two form controls. The product name has already something. The product price does not yet have something. And I'll ask you to actually put some control here, and that one shall not accept negative numbers, and probably it shouldn't accept a 0 because, well, it's not reasonable. But I'm not sure about it. Okay. Edit offer component HTML. Okay, we have the form, and we say the form group that contains the fields for this form is named form group, and this is a field within my edit offer component class. And then you say when this form is submitted, call operation submit offer, which is again go away. No. An operation, here it is, that you need to program in your code, in your edit offer components. And currently it just says, okay, debug out becomes some explaining text. Later on here we will do the HTTP client dot push or post to the backend to send the new price to the backend. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Go away. Somewhere must be the edit offer component HTML. Where is this? Why? Here we are. Okay. Hey, we have the first line. Cool. There comes a container. that is nested into the form, why not? And that one has a row, that one has a column, and there said edit offer. Okay. Yet another row with a column, and then it says I have an input. This one is interesting. The input has an ID. This ID is necessary in order to address it with Cypress for automatic user interface testing. Later on, we do that next week. And this is still name, which is not good. Let's have a product name input, something like that. Okay, then there it says the type is text because we put text in that one. Then there is a placeholder. This is the prompt that is until you fill the stream. This is what you asked for. So they explain that you should have a label. I don't like that. I like the placeholder more than this, but this is a matter of taste. And then this one is complicated. Form control name is actually a property that is controlled by or used by the reactive form things. And it says, okay, bind this input to the form control with the name product name, which is this one here. So it's this product name that is used to look up this form control and to bind those two things together. Okay? And then this form control actually adds these validators to our things, and therefore we see that it's no longer running. I skipped that one for now, and we go for this one. This is just the other input. It's still name, come on. This is the price. Input, placeholder is price, and it goes for the form control name product price. Cool. And then there is the button here. Submit offer is, it should have a button, something like that here. Yeah, I was not actually using it, and therefore I didn't really think about what needs to be here. Submit. So this is just the type of the button. So this is saying I am calling actually the submit operation that is belongs to the running form. And then this disabled in square bracket says, oh, this button shall only be enabled when the form group is actually valid. So our validators are adding error messages to our form group. And so we can ask the form, hey, are our input fields valid? And this does this form group valid code here. And the not says, oh, if it's not valid, then please disable this button. And that is the reason that it's very light blue, and so I can click on this and nothing happens. And only when I add t-shirt here, then this error message here is seeing, and now this one is blue. And if I click on it, it's actually put something here in your debug out. Did we talk about debug out? It's coming soon. So, and here's this error message I'm going to talk about soon too. Okay, so this is the first thing where we actually do this or utilize this validation thing. And then we say, no, you cannot submit this form until it's filled correctly. And that's the thing you have very frequently in web-based forms, and actually a very important thing for your customers, and helps you to actually get reasonable data out of your customers. That's actually the point here. Okay, here it says do a paragraph form group status and form group errors, and do debug out, which are variables of our component. And so debug out is here. It says hello edit offer, and then it's changed as soon as you put the submit or press the submit offer button and call this operation here. And the status thing, it comes from the form group, where we actually asked for what is your status, valid or invalid actually, and please show me your errors which is not working. You cannot actually access this way. You need to do something more. What you actually get is something like, yeah, invalid and nothing. That one doesn't work yet. I have no idea how to actually show the list of errors. Actually, you might need to do something like ng4 or something like that.
Sometimes the error object is nested,
Yeah.
depending on the validator.
Yeah. So this is probably a good time to show you some of the things that you need to look at it. So if you Google for Angular reactive forms, you will actually go for the Angular IO main documentation. There are forms, there's introduction here, reactive forms, and how to validate form input. That was the main source of information I was digging into yesterday. And then you will find actually more information how to set this whole thing up and how to do this. Please have a look at this thing before you start asking Maximilian all the questions on the Discord. So validation message, here it comes. So there's an ng if. Please show this block only if this condition is actually true. And what I do is I ask the form group, get the field product name, and if they actually find this, then go for the errors field. And if this errors field is not null, then I do have an error. The form group get product name is dirty. So the reason for this is if I start with this and do reload, this is empty. So, but actually empty, this is a required field. So actually I could already start to show the error message. However, you do not want to shout on your user already if he did not yet make a mistake. So if I start typing, actually now this one shows up. The error message, and only that one at this time. And actually, if I go back, it's still there, I think, because it's still dirty. I was editing in this field, and therefore the error message remained here, although this one is empty. I could actually have another condition and say, oh, if this field is not empty, but something has been filled there, then show a different error message and these kinds of stuff. So that's basically what I did to have this. And this is in the first div that actually has the class row and then the column. And then here is name should be in jeans and t-shirt. This is currently a fixed text. And actually the list of valid names should be taken from a call to our backend, which actually tells us these are all the products that we have in stock or currently and that could be offered. And then you can decide whether, oh, I'm only interested in adding an offer for products that are do not yet have a price, but perhaps you will also say, okay, it's okay to change the price of a thing that is already in the shop. And then you can have everything that is in the shop listed here. And we will actually add this next week. Currently, I have a list of valid names, and I actually could accept this one. And actually, then I would need this ng4 loop again or something like that. And so I didn't do it yet. Perhaps you should do it in your solution. Try to retrieve the name from the list of valid names and show those here. You will manage to do that. Okay, that's basically it. Fine. Here we are. So that is actually what I wanted to show to you. I wanted to show to you that you actually should build forms with the reactive forms of Angular, because what you actually get is the validation. Oh no, there's one thing missing, and that one is so nasty. I actually need to tell you in detail. So the product name validator. That is how you add a validator. And I did pick this from the documentation, and I said, oh, are those guys crazy? That doesn't make really sense. And it's the most complicated way you can actually do it. So what you actually do is a validator is a function that is called whenever something has happened with the input. And the controller, the form control, actually calls these functions whenever the input changes. And so you provide a function with a certain user interface. And this is actually a function call. So why? I have no fucking idea. Actually, I could change that. So, but this is what they did in the documentation. I don't dare it. Perhaps I'll do it next week, but this one works. Stop working on it. It's fine. So the product name validator function that is called here is actually returning a function. And that one function is a lambda. And that function has a control of type abstract control as a single parameter and delivers a list of validation errors, or a single validation error, I have no fucking idea, or null. And here I actually do, so in the body of this lambda, which stops here, I actually do the validation now. And I say, oh yeah, that one is forbidden if this .valid names .index of control .value is less than 0. So I go for my valid names. I ask the control that has been passed as the parameter for the current value that has been typed into it. And then I look whether this value is contained in this valid names, which is this one here. And if this is not contained, I do not have a valid name. Okay, so if it's not contained, index of gives a -1 and slash is 0. Could I have something like contained? I have no idea. Then it's forbidden. So that the input is not okay. And if it is forbidden, I return an object, an error message, which is some field, some name of the error, and some value. And then one could be, again, a more complicated thing. I have no idea. This was something that I was taking from the official documentation page, and it worked, and I'm happy with this. And otherwise, if it's okay, then I return just null, and then it says, okay, no error message is good. Yeah, and then don't like it. And actually, I could have created a function product name allowed error or something like that. That actually replaces this lambda here. Yeah, damn. And put this code in here. Yeah. That compiles, and then put this one, no. The product name error operation here. That should do the job either. I'm not sure. No. Yeah, something is wrong. If it throws an exception, something is happening here. I have no idea what. So probably the original way was not too bad. Yeah, I'll have to work on that. Yeah, no, it's okay again. What the problem here is? It's probably something which is this. If you pass this operation as a content, you probably are no longer allowed to accept this. That's probably the problem here. I actually had quite some problems to accept valid names, because if you put the valid names down here, it's not working either. Because, well, actually, the product name Validator is, well, added first and somehow executed. And in the body of that, I accept this valid names, and valid names is not yet initialized. So the order of attributes and the initialization is again something which is, well, important in TypeScript, and this needs to be there. That was quite tricky to find after all. So here we are. Okay, so good enough for today. Yeah, we still have half an hour, something, or a quarter of an hour. Yes, don't care. Good enough for today. This is what I have prepared, and still enough to, well, to warm you up for all this content again, and to warm you up in working with TypeScript and Angular and these kinds of stuff. So next week we are going to connect the shop front end and the shop back end, and then we have actually most of the functionality that we want to have. And well, actually, I think Max is going to put the details of this week's assignment to Discord or somewhere. Yeah. Basically, it is, well, yeah, make this form, as I have said, and do some experiments with this validation stuff. So, thank you for your attention. I hope some more people will show up doing the things, and there are still some people that do the homework. And we will see you for homework validation on Thursday. Yeah, here we are. Okay, thank you. Bye.